Shalom Yasharala, mighty Shalom to all the elect in all four corners of the earth, and to anyone that has tapped in and listening. Like, share, and subscribe because this is real, y'all. Let's get into it.
All right, so there's two bills being voted on Monday. Pretty insane. This one is called the IGO Anti Boycott Act, and basically what it consists of is if
This is Bill HR 867, y'all. And also, I want to bring to attention the bill SB 771 that's sitting on Governor Newsom's desk in California right now, waiting to be signed.
you engage in BDS sort of stuff, which is boycotting Israel, things like that, speaking out against Israel, that you could face fines of up to $1 million and 20 years in prison.
So, notice a fine of $1 million, which most of us don't have, and up to 20 years in prison, right? This brings us to that's basically referencing Luke 21:12 and Revelations 2 verse 10, right? Letting them know that we're gonna be tossed in jail for this word. And that's what these laws attack.
You can see for Americans participating in boycotts of Israel or settlements. These boycotts are endorsed by international bodies like the UN or the EU. Yeah, this is totally un-American. Also, there's another one being done by Brian Mast. He's the guy who served in the IOF, who's a congressman. That basically says that the government can take away your passport if you speak ill against.
So if you're speaking against their agenda, if you're speaking against the small hat people, they'll snatch your passport and they'll keep you here.
Israel. Um, our Congress is bought and paid for by Israel. This is
I didn't say it, y'all. This gentleman did. This fair use, and this video is used for educational purposes only. But y'all know what it is.
It's truly pathetic. The world needs to wake up and stop this nonsense. Like, people on both the left and right should be against this, all right? This is bigger. This is not about left versus right.
It's not about left versus right. That's just a game to pull the wool over y'all eyes. Understand that the whole agenda is all under one hand. So SB 771 and HR 867 are these two bills that I'm speaking about that's going to work together. So this basically is about to be a law. It just requires Governor Newsom's signature, right? And it shows you right here on this current progress checklist. So let's figure out what this law really says. I'm scrolling on to the second paragraph. Existing law generally prohibits a person from using violence or intimidation to interfere with another person's enjoyment or certain rights, or because of certain attributes of that person, like skin color, hair, body size, sex, race, right, or political affiliation. Um, it actually says it right here. Sir, interferes with another person's enjoyment of certain rights or because of certain attributes of that person, including the person's political affiliation, race, or sexual orientation, or punishes violations of that law with certain civil penalties or as misdemeanors as prescribed. This bill would make social media platforms as defined that violates the above references, like let's say you say something about the you wish people, the small hats, this will be a violation to that social media company, as defined that violates the above referenced provisions of law relating to personal rights through its algorithms that relay content to users or aids, abets, acts in concert, or conspires in violation of those laws, or is a joint tort tortfeasor in an action alleging in violations of those laws, liable for specified civil penalties. The bill would declare its provisions to be servable and would be declared attempted waiver of its provisions to be void and unenforceable. This would become operative on January 1st, 2027. So they're forcing these companies, and the fine's going to be, again, up to $1 million or time in jail for violating this. So you posting anything on your social media site, if it doesn't go with their agenda, you know, they're coming for you. We're going to go to the book of Amos. This is the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days are coming, says the Lord God, that I will send a famine on the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the word of the Lord. Right? They shall wander from sea to sea, and from north to east. They shall run to and fro, seeking the word of the Lord, but shall not find it. Laws like this are going to lead to a famine of the word, right? And who realistically is imposing these laws? Who's in control of creating these laws and legislation to keep the true word from going out? Come on, you know exactly who it is. It's the you wish, the small hats, right? And the Most High already declared this in his book, Revelation 2:9. Let's get it. And it reads, I know your works and tribulation and poverty, right? He's speaking to us. And I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And they're truly demonstrating themselves to be the synagogue of Satan when they're creating laws like this to create a famine of the word, right? This is prophecy that's going out, and it's prophecy that's being fulfilled. So let's go to this other piece of legislation that they're looking to enact, and we're going to see exactly what it says about it. I'm looking for the website that. Here we go. So this is just being introduced. HR 867, which is the anti-boycott, meaning they're not going to allow you to boycott Israel and its constituents and the agenda that they have. Let's listen.
There is one summary for HR 867. Bill summaries are authored by CRS. Shown here, introduced in House, January 31st, 2025.
So this was introduced in the House in 2025. This was introduced in the House in 2025. Okay? It's been planned out and they're walking it out.
This bill penalizes U.S. persons, individuals, or entities that participate in certain boycotts imposed by international governmental organizations.
So if we had true freedom in this country, why would we not be allowed to boycott anything that we don't want? It proves that we're not free.
The bill expands an existing law that prohibits various actions by U.S. persons in relation to boycotts imposed by foreign governments on a country that is friendly to the United States and not itself the object of a U.S. boycott.
Run that back again.
This bill applies those prohibitions to similar boycotts imposed by IGOs.
Let's just drop down to the actions.
Refusing to do business with companies organized under the laws of the boycotted country.
So if you simply refuse to do business with someone, you're going to face penalties, right?
If the refusal is pursuant to an agreement with or request from the country or IGO imposing the boycott.
So if the country orders you to do this and you refuse, you're going to face penalties.
2. Furnishing information about whether any person has a business relationship with or in the boycotted country.
So you can't even furnish what should be public information regarding certain topics.
Furnishing information about whether someone is associated with charitable or fraternal organizations that support the boycotted country.
So, for example, all these people who gave money to Trump for his campaign, who he holds dearly to his heart, right? To his success. Think about that, how that plays into this. So if you furnish information, whether someone is associated with someone else with charitable ties, you'll be in violation. So you can't even put in public what's going on behind the scenes. Let's go on.
Criminal penalties for willful violations of this law include fines of up to $1 million.
So just like the other law says, if you violate this, you'll be fined up to $1 million, right? And this is for citizens on this law right here. The other one was for social media platforms. This is for citizens.
In addition to such fines, individuals may be imprisoned for up to 20 years.
Wait, what? Up to 20 years in prison. Let's run that back again. That this is wild.
Criminal penalties for willful violations of this law include fines of up to $1 million. In addition to such fines, individuals may be imprisoned for up to 20 years.
Right? So the Most High also foretells us in the book of Revelations and in the book of Luke that we'll be tossed in jail for the word. Right? This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake, right? So this is back in the time of Yahweh Shai. He prophesied to his disciples that this was going to happen. And this pushes into now's time, right? Where we will be persecuted for this word. But not only that, I mean, we could jump into the book of Revelations where it says specifically that this is going to happen. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 10. Do not be afraid of what you are about to suffer. So all you brothers that's preaching on the highways and byways, that's putting out these internet classes, don't be afraid of what you're about to suffer because the Most High has already written this into the plan. I'm going to start from the top again. Do not be afraid of what you are about to suffer, I tell you. The devil, right? The devil will put some of you in prison to test you. So meaning you being in prison is not going to be your final, right? It's going to be a test. And that test is to refine you into gold. And you will suffer persecution for 10 days. But here's the key. This is what the Most High says. He says, be faithful even to the point of death, and I will give you life as your victor's crown, right? So what you're going to win for your faithfulness in Yahweh Shai and keeping these commandments that Yahweh put before you, your reward is a crown, right? Your reward is that crown. That's what we're all working towards, that crown. Watch this. Uh, Hold on. I'm gonna go right back. Forgive me, I'm still working this out. Watch this. We'll go to Revelations 3. And the Most High just gives you a little bit of comfort, right? He says, this is the book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 10. Since you have kept my commands to endure patiently, and this is in the book of Revelations, remember, this is in the end. He says, since you have kept my commands to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that's going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. So, when your Christian pastor says you don't have to keep the laws no more, what are we talking about right here in Revelations? Where it says, since you've kept my commands and endured patiently, I will keep you from that hour. So the commands is the armor of God that's going to protect you in the hour of calamity. Whether it's this tribulation period that's coming or it's in your daily walk. You have to understand that putting on the whole armor of God, that walking in these commandments, walking in the mind of God, keeping your mind aligned with the mind of the Most High, that's what keeps you in the hour of temptation. So I'm going to say, stay strong, family. Keep your eyes open. Watch what's going on around you. And I say, Shalom.